Hey everybody, time for another episode of This Week in Real Estate as we take a look back on last week, kind of everything that happened in my business, maybe in the market, things like that. So it's going to be kind of a shorter one today. It was kind of a light week last week, and if you recall and if you watched last week's episode, I said, hey, coming up this week, which is now last week, I could have up to 4 closings or maybe just one, and honestly I could have had none, but it was actually the one closing this past week. The other 3 got pushed, and I've been seeing a lot of that lately, and been speaking with other agents, and they're seeing the same thing. And my theory, whether it's true or not, my theory, a lot of mine recently have been delayed due to underwriting just taking longer. So underwriting is right there at the end for the most part, and where all the documents are in, the appraisal's in, and honestly the buyer, the seller, the agents, the title company, and the lender themselves are ready, but it has to go through that kind of final 1 or 2 checks, and that's just not happening very quickly these days. And my theory is just that there's so many contracts being written right now that I think they're just behind. I mean, they only have so many people to work, so I think that's where the delay has been, but kind of frustrating, honestly. So like I said, I could have had up to 4 last week. Had the one, which puts, when you have a domino, what I call a domino or a piggyback transaction, puts things kind of behind where, man, if you could close somebody selling their house and buying in the same day, then possession dates can be worked out. But once you delay one of those dominoes, like what happened on Friday, everybody down the line either has to adjust or, things don't go as smoothly as we want. So, but looking towards this week, I do have 2 rescheduled for this week and 1 early next week. So that'll wrap up the 4 that I had right there at the end in process. So have a new listing coming up. I'll be there on Friday finishing up that work, and that'll be in Muncie. That was a rental property. It's actually rented for 26 years to the same people. You don't see that often around here. So but what they did, after 26 years, the owner, they moved out. They had to move out of the area, but the owner came in, new kitchen, new flooring, new paint, new trim, new bathroom fixtures, new carpets, a lot of new, obviously. And so since it hadn't been, basically done in 26 years, so that's coming up. That's on the south side of Muncie. I'll get all that worked up. And then a couple other things that happened this past week was I had my monthly Dave Ramsey ELP kind of group meeting. They call it the Mastermind, and that's where a bunch of other agents all over the country come together. And I think we had 15 or 16 in this discussion, and they're also part of the Dave Ramsey program, and we all meet together on a Zoom call, obviously, and just see how each other are doing. I've been in the program a couple of years. Some have been in it for 20 years, and we get to talk to each other, ask questions, come up with ideas about our personal business. But it's really fun to hear about other people's business in different parts of the country, and it ranges. We have just off the top of my head, just a few of them. Have somebody in Florida, Texas, not Colorado, Idaho, Utah, and California, and then Pennsylvania. Just kind of, coast to coast, we have people everywhere. Virginia was another one. So it's really fun to hear their experiences, where they are, their market. I think our market's crazy. There are crazier markets out there. So it's just good hearing everybody's stories and seeing them, for this month, and then kind of coming up with a game plan to get better next month. So that was good. And then also this week had a meeting with a young man who was asking about the business. Again, I'm more than happy to talk about the business and my experiences and things like that, and becoming an agent, kind of running your own business, things like that. So I got to speak with him, and he was kind of looking a different angle on things. Maybe not becoming an agent, but maybe being a sole investor, managing properties, things like that, managing his own properties, working on his own properties. So it was good to speak with him, and I think I was able to give him some information that he could use later on. But that invitation's out there again for anybody, and be happy to talk to anybody on the phone, Zoom, in person. And I mean, we're here, myself included, and Wagner's always looking for either additional agents or different types of assistance, things like that, to help us here in real estate. So don't be bashful, reach out, ask the questions, and be happy to speak with anybody. So yeah, that was about it. Kind of a light week this week, and looking forward to the closings coming up this week. And then next Monday or Tuesday, I'll be back again to tell you if and any of that even happens. So appreciate you turning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.